I'd just like to congratulate TimeBank on its 10th anniversary. We find it amazing that 90% of British justice is delivered through volunteers, and people forget that really core things done in the society are done by people giving up a huge amount of time to do really good and serious work.
That this agenda goes with the grain of something very basic and human about our desire for better connection and our desire to be part of something bigger, and trying to ensure that that the sector maximises the opportunities from the big society agenda. People, organisations, communities where already fantastic things are happening, where people are really trying to work together to find better ways of doing things and improving life in their neighbourhoods.
How do you feel about the plans that you've heard so far for the big society? If you press number 1, it says positive. I think the public should take more control over their communities. Number 2, unsure. I need to find out more details about how it'll work. Number 3, cynical. I'm not convinced by the plans I've heard so far. There you are.
Hey, but that's much better than I normally get. It's interesting because quite a lot of polls show about a quarter of the population support big society, think they understand it and think it can work in practice, which is the most important thing. So you're a bunch of hardened cynics by comparing with them, but I don't blame you. A journalist said to me the other day that the big society never makes sense when he hears it as an ideology, but it makes sense when he goes to communities. We have to be honest that it isn't just about government stepping out of the way, either at local or government level. It's about very imaginative redeployment of resources.
What do you think would encourage people to volunteer more?
If we are really going to encourage people to volunteer, we are going to have a massive sea change in attitudes and a development of support networks to make it easier for people to volunteer. And my anxiety remains that the infrastructure organisations at the moment don't have the funding to do that.
We're only just scratching the surface of what technology can do to help volunteering.
Volunteers having a voice themselves. We're trialling a system at the moment where user-led system where you rate your volunteering opportunity, and that gives volunteers a real voice. So it not only empowers them to find volunteering opportunities that are meaningful for them, but it also means that the charities involved can go back and find out what they need to be doing better to improve the quality of the volunteering experience. And I think you need to have a positive volunteering experience if people are going to be continued to encourage to volunteer.
But one of the things we're working on is mobile volunteering. So it's actually using your phone to volunteer. So it's kind of working out how you can do something remotely in bite-sized chunks.
With fears over job security, how can employers support their employees to volunteer?
Volunteering is a fantastic opportunity for businesses, but it will be down to the bottom line more often than not.
Volunteering actually increases employee productivity.
Fewer accountants painting sheds and more accountants helping local charities with their business plans.
Thank you. Now, the next question. If charities step in to deliver what are seen as essential public services, do you think businesses and the public will continue to donate their time and money?
People want to think that they're giving extra value. It's about complementing public services, not delivering them necessarily. And some of the programmes that we run are, they couldn't be run by paid staff because the very fact that it's volunteer is what makes it successful. We believe that great volunteering needs great support, and it doesn't just happen on its own. And I think that's where we need all of you to help us and to help us make our second decade even more productive than our first. Thank you very much for coming.